Shabbos, everyone. Parshas Vayera. So, an idea that we were discussing this week in the Parsha class, and also learned this morning in the Rebbe Sicha. So, there's a pasuk in Shir Hashirim. The Alter Rebbe explains. It says that Shchoirani v'no b'nois Yerushalayim. So to say, I'm blackened and I'm beautiful, the daughters of Jerusalem. The Alter Rebbe explains that there's two levels over here. There's the level of the b'nois Yerushalayim. Is the soul of the Jewish person, as it is in heaven, in the world of Atzilus, in the world of absolute godliness and holiness. And then there's the idea of the neshama, the soul, how it comes down to this world, engages in worldly things, whether it's the struggle of being a yid, doing Torah mitzvahs in this world, or sometimes falling in this world, elevating this world. The neshama feels, and the neshama tells the higher soul that shchairani, I've become blackened, I've become darkened, I've become dirty, so to say, going out to the world of creation and engaging in the world, and in doing that, I became shchaira, I became dark, it became dark and dirty. However, v'no, but I'm beautiful, and I'm even more beautiful the way the soul is at the level of B'nai Yerushalayim, the daughters of Jerusalem, where everything, the word name Yerushalayim means Yira Shalim, it's complete. Because only when you go down to this world, only when you engage, only when you're involved, that's the purpose of creation. That's what the neshama is here for. And that's what we see. This week's parsha opens up that Avram Avinu is sitting at the entrance of his tent, looking to engage in people, looking to find. We learned to the Sikha, the Rebbe says today, that why was there revelation? What inspired the revelation of Hashem? Although he was coming to visit the sick, but what did he see in Avram? That there should be the level of revelation, Vayera, Vayera, is because he was sitting at the entrance of his tent, because he was sitting there, notwithstanding of everything he's accomplished in his life and all the work he and Sarah did, that he went out to the world. They brought tens of thousands of people, the Rambam says, under the Kanfi Shechina back to Yiddishkeit, to godliness and into holiness, and he's sick after circumcision. He's recovering, but he sits by the entrance of his gate to engage in the world, to maybe find one more person that needs to be inspired. One more person needs to have a little help, whether it's material help, that person needs to eat, or whether that person needs to be inspired. And it's an amazing thing, because it says God reveals himself, and as soon as the guests come, we know the famous idea that's brought down in the Gemara, that Gedola, it's greater to engage and to meet and to greet and to host people than it is to sit with Hashem. And that's why Avram tells God that you have to, it's time, I have to go. There's guests here. And seemingly, like we spoke in this week's class, the whole purpose, everything that a person is trying to accomplish in this world is like David HaMelech says, Achas Sh'ra'alti, one thing I ask from God is Shifti B'Beis Hashem, to sit in the house of God, to sit in a place of revelation. So here he has the revelation. He's seemingly at the point where the highest point where a person wants to achieve. The idea of living in this world is that the person can connect and to have a revelation of godliness. So, like it says, what's Mashiach? Mashiach is the revelation of godliness. And here he has the revelation, and he says, well, I have to go meet another person. I have to go inspire another person. And that is what the Shlomo Melech says. That you have Benos Yerushalayim, you have the daughters of Jerusalem, you have the souls that are sitting up in heaven, it's beautiful. But the Shchairani, the person who's out there in the world, even if you're getting dark, even if you fall, even if there's Averis, even if you have to do tshuva, specifically when you have to do tshuva, that you say, V'na, I'm beautiful because I'm out in the world. Avram sat at the gate of his tent. He wasn't sitting inside his house. And he went out there, and like the Rebbe says, he gave them the best meal. And he went and gave them the best of what he offered. He could have given them leftovers. He could have given them something small to eat. He went and he slaughtered 3 cows, so he could give them the high delicacy of the tongues with the chardal, with the mustard. He went out there and he was giving the best of himself to someone else. And I just want to finish off to talk about our mother Sarah. That we've learned the Maimer before. It talks about that the same idea, but we find by Sarah. It says about Sarah, which we learn next week, that she passes away. But it says that Sarah was salik, that she came and she left in a complete way. She was nachis v'salik. She came and she left in a complete way because she was able to go out into the world. Like in this week's Parshas, she goes into the house of Avimelech. and she stays the same righteous person. She goes last week's parsha into the house of Parai. Avram doesn't go into the house. Sarah goes even further than Avram. She has to mamish engage with the evil, so much so that the Zohar says that Sarah, who is able to fix the sin of the Eitz Hadas, the sin of Chava and Adam, the sin of a person having self-awareness, having what works for you, and to give from herself, to give from oneself. Avram sat there, and their whole life is to give to others, was to be machnesarach, to do chesed both in a spiritual and material way. And bless everyone. Should be a week of chesed. We could be living with Avram and Sarah, and we should see and be the ultimate redemption, the ultimate revelation, the coming of Mashiach B'Karv. Good Shabbos.